Hi, I'm author Lin Lustig, and I want art in my books, so I'm drawing it. Come see. Hey friends, welcome and welcome back. Let's talk about notebook, and more specifically, notebooks, journals, and planners, because I am one of those. Yes, you heard me right. It is quite the admission. I started off figuring out planners because when I was publishing my first book, I was going through all of these stages, all these steps, and there is a ton of stuff to learn when you are first trying to self-publish. So I was following some other authors that were having success using planners to help track everything that they were doing and just like organize their life basically, because it does become total chaos when you're trying to handle that many digital to-dos. It's super easy for the brain to just like become entirely overwhelmed and short circuit. At least it is for me. So I started with a brand called Happy Planner, and you can take off the pages because it's got the disc system. So the pages kind of click in and click out, and that was great, but it was, fine. It didn't quite have the layouts that I needed. So then I moved to like Passion Planner, and that was really fun. I actually did some like affiliate stuff for them, and I'm still using them right now, but my needs have changed a bit. So I've gone much more onto online for using Notion. Notion, if you're not familiar with, is an amazing online resource for free, and it helps you track all kinds of things. It is a massively flexible system. The problem is almost that it's too flexible. So if you don't have some kind of preset to it and you just come into this blank page, it's like coming into a blank page writing a book. You're like, huh? Plenty of opportunities, plenty of potential, but I don't know what to do with it. So happily I have a friend that's like really talented at doing Notion templates, and so she let me experiment with some of hers, and it really got the ball rolling for me. The thing that I've used the most is their simple database. Like no bells, no whistles, just give me this whole big chart. I can put in a whole bunch of different columns of information that I want to be tracking, and I'm good to go. I've been doing that for YouTube here, for tracking all my chibi videos, tracking which ones have been, which ones the drawing has been recorded, which one it's been edited, which one the audio has been recorded, when they're all together, when they're loaded up on YouTube, when they're like pre-scheduled, all of that kind of stuff. And then I use another one similarly for all of my book stuff. So there's a book thing called a book Bible where you keep track of everything about your book universe, all of your characters, all your locations, all of that lovely, lovely stuff that's really easy to forget. So all the continuity issues that you tend to run into, that usually comes from something where it's like, oh, there's this little throwaway that I forgot to put in my book Bible because it didn't seem important. And oh, wait, it's 4 books later, and suddenly that's going to become a major plot point. So it's really tricky to track and keep a good book Bible, and I have a system that works for me, but it's really not ideal, to be honest. I've seen some people that just like, oh, they have it organized to no ends. They have like relational tie-ups of like, if I click here, it takes me to the other person and like takes me to the description of the event and then blah, 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 blah. Again, this is mostly my one friend that's really good at Notion, and it just boggles my mind. Like, I am awesome at organizing physical spaces. I can rearrange a room to no end. I can totally make shelves look cool. I can, like, all of these things. I have great spatial awareness. You put me in a digital landscape, and it means nothing to me. So me trying to keep track of this stuff is always a bit of a trick. But back to paper planning and paper journals and notebooks and everything, I do have a mild obsession, which is not unusual, honestly, for writers. I usually have like 4 or 5 journals going at the same time for different reasons. Right now, I have a line a day 5-year journal. I have my regular weekly planner. I have a random one that I just scribble any oddball notes in. I have another one that's for help envisioning like your future and what you want your goals to be and how you're going to pursue them. I have one for learning French. I have one for all of the courses that I've been taking. Pretty sure that was more than 5. I wasn't counting. But in order to make all of these journals and all these notebooks more appealing and more usable, guess who loves stickers? Stickers and washi tape and pretty pens, especially metallic pens. Ooh, am I a sucker for something shiny. So as you can imagine, I have a relatively respectable collection of these things, which they're not too bad. They actually just take up like one carrying case, which sounds really bad when I say it like that, but I promise it's nothing really extreme. We're not talking about like I went to the airport carrying case. It's more like a garden basket type thing. But since I love all these things, it also means that I really want to then start making my own. So since I have all this art and all these drawings, I really want to start making stickers and washi tape and all of the like. Making it just for myself is awesome. I mean, of course, I can definitely do that, but I really want to make it and probably sell it, and I don't know if there are people that would actually buy it. So if you're interested, definitely leave me a comment, but otherwise, I'm just going to set that one aside. I may end up doing something like that for my subscription service, since Ream is where I am posting my stories and having paid followers who then get like additional perks. They not only get to read the stories first, but then they get some other digital products. I would like to move on to doing physical products. The only problem is since I live in another country from most of my audience, that gets a little tricky with shipping and shipping times, and it's just all a a thing. So I'm definitely focusing on digital. But I mean, digital washi tape, why not? How cool is that? I want that. Actually, I need to go make that. That's pretty rad. Part of this all stems because I love going to different cons, so geeky cons or, artist cons, anything that basically has shiny things, because again, shiny. I went to some anime conventions recently, super fun, even though I'm way out of the anime loop. It's been several years since I watched anything new, so my bad. But I'm in love with booths along Artist Alley. I love seeing everyone's creativity and the absolutely gorgeous nature of their work. I somewhat recently redid the book covers for one of my series, and it was one of my first big attempts at doing some kind of properly rendered full style art. And they're nothing particularly out there. They are more or less like I used some reference photos, I, used models and put it all together and did some pretty simple lighting and rendering on it and, slapped a title on it. And those are absolutely fine for a book cover. You don't want them to be overly complex. But I really would love to get into some more of the art styles that I've really admired whenever I go to these cons. But even more fun is so you can do like author events like this where you go to different conventions, like reader conventions and whatnot, and you have the booths of people that like have all of these cool little merch things. You got your postcard of your characters, and you got stickers, and you got like little acrylic things and charms. I want to make a charm bracelet that's like all my own acrylic characters. I want these things. They have plushies. I mean, come on. The options are absolutely endless, and that's part of the fun also of having my characters already drawn out and letting people be familiar with them, because it makes it theoretically much easier in the future when I can be like, oh my gosh, guys, look, I drew my character doing something ridiculous. Don't you want to share this with me? And someday people will. So those are definitely some dreams of mine moving forward, and I really look forward to being able to explore some of those. But for now, it is still a lot of learning, still a lot of training, especially in the digital art square for coloring and for lighting and for anatomy. Oh, guys, there's so much to learn. I don't know how you do it. I say that assuming that you also clearly draw and are better than me. But keep your fingers crossed, because maybe, just maybe, I'll get to a point where people really do want my artwork, and they want it stuck to their water bottles, and they want it as tip-ins for their different books. I think that's the dream. And I think for traditional art, that's actually going to be easier than trying to sell a book. And who knows? One will lead to the other. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that goodness, and come back soon. See ya.